Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a Valentine's Day date night look. It could really be a look that you don't necessarily do for Valentine's Day, but just a date night in general. But we're just gonna, it's Valentine's Day, we're calling it a Valentine's Day look. So I'm starting off with a little concealer because I have a lot of blemishes right now. So I just put, this is the Hey Honey Trick and Treat Active Propolis Cream Concealer. And then I'm just going to mix in, this is the Senegence Color Correcting Green Concealer. And I'm just putting this on the top of a lid. And I'm going to apply that directly onto the blemishes. So I like to, oh my gosh, I don't want to blind you with the mirror. I like to blend it together with my finger and then apply it with my finger because I feel like it gives a really full coverage when I do that. So we're just going to go right on my chin here where I have a lot of blemishes. And then I just kind of tap it on. And that is, like I said, just giving it a nice full coverage because it's date night. I don't want to have my blemishes showing. And the green concealer just cancels out the redness. So we're going to go ahead and apply it anywhere that I have redness at all. So I'm currently trying to switch up my skincare, not my skincare, but my face wash routine. And so I bought a couple different little samples of a couple different face washes, and we're going to try to see if one of them can help clear this up. It is also that wonderful time of the month, so that's contributing to a lot of it as well. So yeah. And then before I did anything, you guys, I did apply a moisturizer, and this is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel. I applied that, and then I applied a under eye concealer. I use the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream, and it's just a little tiny sample I have, but I kind of like it because it has a yellow tint, which kind of conceals the darkness too, and also hydrates underneath your under eyes. Okay, so next we're going to go in with my foundation, and I'm going to use the Beyond Matte Jane Iredale. I've been using that quite a bit lately. I have M10, which is a little darker, and then M9, which is has a little more yellow in it. So my skin looks pretty yellowy right now because I did a spray tan last night, so I'm going to use the M9, and I actually might squirt a little bit of the M10 on there as well, just to deepen it up a little bit. So I just applied it right to the top of this brush, and I'm just gonna kind of bounce it all over, and then we're just gonna stipple brush it in. I like to do that because it gives a nice full coverage when you do it this way. Okay, so now I'm going to just use this clean brush and just kind of lightly buff over, did you hear that? Over my entire face, just to blend any lines, make sure it's a nice, smooth, flawless finish. Okay, so I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera because, you guys, eyebrows are a pain in the butt to film. So, like I said before in my last video, I will make a eyebrow tutorial because I'm sure I'm not the only one who has crazy eyebrows that just I overplucked when I was younger, and now they just don't grow in certain spots. So I'm going in with the concealer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I just got this last week, so I've been trying it out, and seems like I like it. And I'm using that doe foot applicator again because, is that what this is called? Doe foot applicator? I like the coverage it gives, especially for like a date night look. I want a nice full coverage under my eyes, a lot of brightness. Yeah, so we are just gonna apply that. What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Are you doing anything fun? I know it's kind of a hyped up holiday, but I think it's a good excuse to go out, even if it is a hyped up holiday. It's still a fun excuse to, you know, go out and have a date night. Funny thing about Valentine's Day is that my husband and I actually, he was going to ask me out when we first started dating on Valentine's Day. Like, how cliche, right? But there was going to be a really bad snowstorm. So he was still in high school, and I'm going to use that foundation brush I had and just kind of blend where the two meet, my foundation and the concealer. But there was a really bad snowstorm supposed to be on Valentine's Day. So he asked me out on the 12th, 2 days before Valentine's Day, and he had asked his mom to pick up some flowers. And I didn't know that he had asked her to pick them up, but he came to my house and brought me these flowers, and they were just multiple colored daisies. And I always said, if a guy asks me out, or not asks me out, but if a guy gets me like daisies that are a bunch of different colors, like, that's how I know it's gonna be the one, because I love those. And I never told anybody that. It was just kind of something I had in my head. And he came into the house, and I saw the flowers, and I was like, here it is, here's the sign, he's the one. And then I later found out that his mom picked him out for him. So I thought that was kind of funny, and her and I are actually very close, so it's kind of fun. And we're going to use that foundation brush again and just kind of go over everything. Alright, and then I really like to use this brush. I just started doing it, actually. It's a stippling brush. And just very lightly just kind of fluffing over everything just to pick up any of the extra product. Now I'm going to go and carve underneath my eyebrows, and yeah, we're going to do that next. Okay, so to carve underneath my eyebrows, I like to use, this is a Shadow Sense, and it is in the shade Candlelight, but I like it because I also will apply it over my entire eyelid just to act as a base for my eyeshadows. And yeah, when you carve out your eyebrows, it takes them to the next level. It really defines them and just makes them look really nice. So I'm not going to talk because I'll mess up for sure. But I'll just kind of do like a half sped through version of it. Okay, next up is bronzer, and I'm going to use the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer, and it smells so good. Yum. I literally want to eat it whenever I smell it. It smells amazing. Okay, so we're going to go right underneath my cheekbone and just really blend it out. And then I'm going to take that stippling brush and just kind of go over it. I don't like it to be super dark. I kind of like a lighter contour. Okay, then we're going to bring that contour up onto my forehead just to round everything out, and otherwise it looks too lopsided if you don't. So make sure you are, and make sure you're pushing it up into your hairline. If you don't, it almost looks like your face is disconnected from your head. So make sure you get that pushed up. If you have blonde hair, I know it's kind of hard. My hair is really growing out right now. I have an appointment at the end of the month, but so we're gonna deal with it for now. And then I'm gonna do my nose contour next. So we're gonna use a really thin little brush, and actually, let me see here. Thin little brush, and then I'm gonna blend it out with this Royal and Langnickel precision angled brush. So we're gonna pick up some of the bronzer on the thin one and just very lightly go down the side of my nose. use that brush to kind of diffuse the color a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take that same little skinny brush and just kind of brush underneath my lip, right just in the center here. And that's just going to create a shadow to make my lips look a little more pouty. So lately for blush, I've been really liking just a bronze look. So this is Park Ave Princess by Tarte, and I'm just kind of applying that to my cheeks just to warm them up, give them a nice like natural glowy look. And then I always pop it on my forehead, my nose, my chin, just anywhere. Okay, next up is going to be the fun step, and that is the eyeshadow. Who else just like pulls up Pinterest? We're going to use the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm palette. But who else goes onto Pinterest and like searches like makeup looks, eye looks, or whatever, and then just ends up going off the path and just doing whatever? That's what I do. I have no idea what I'm going to do, so I'm just gonna wing it. So I'm taking Mugshot, I think, first, and that is just this nice like brown color here, and I'm gonna use that in the crease. So we're just picking up a little bit on this fluffy brush. I have that Candlelight Shadow Sense on, so that's just gonna help hold everything in place. I'm just gonna start applying this right into my crease, I think. And I typically do that when I'm doing an eyeshadow look. I'll just start with just like a brown color just to get the look going, and then just go with how I feel. I kind of want this to be a more sultry look, so if that's the look I'm going for, usually I will kind of take the transition color down onto the lid as well, just to add that warmth. And then I feel like for my eyes, the further I bring in the color that I'm doing in the crease into the inner corner, not all the way to the inner corner because that's going to make it look too dark there, but the further I bring it in, the more like sultry I feel like it looks. Okay, so I'm not quite sure. I think I'm going to take Serene, which is this shade right next to Mugshot, and I'm just going to use that to add some depth to the outer corners, and I'm using this thin dome shaped brush. It's the Morphe M431, and I'm just going to kind of apply that to the outer corner and into the outer crease. Bring that down here a little bit, and I like to apply it with this brush first and then go back in with that same brush I was using before. I forgot that was the Morphe M441, and then use that to kind of blend it out. But when you use that thinner brush first, you can get kind of a more precise place that you want to place it on your eyelid. I'm just going to brush some of that extra product into the crease further. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I should have done it beforehand, but I have this little tin thing, and I just use, it has, you can wipe your brushes on it, just kind of get that product off. So I should have done this step before I use that dark color on this brush, but we'll just kind of wipe it off on here to get it clean. And then I'm going to go back in with Mugshot, that first brown shade that I used, and I'm going to sweep some of that underneath my eyelid and on the lower lash line. So we're just going to and then I'm going to pick up Serene again, that second color, and just focus that on the outer part of the bottom lower lash line. Okay, so next I'm going to take Boom, which is this like really pretty like sparkly. It has like golds and like rosy colors in it. And I'm going to use a flat brush. This is the Sephora Collection Shadow Brush. And I'm just going to pick that up with that brush and apply that to right on the outer corner here. That's pretty. I haven't used this palette in forever. You know what? We're gonna put it all over the entire lid, I think. Yeah, I love that. That's so pretty. Okay, so I typically like to mimic whatever I do on my top lash if I'm gonna do like especially a blown out like really like more intense look like this. I like to mimic it onto the bottom. So I am just wiping off this brush again. I'm going to pick up Boom, that really pretty rose color, and put that just in the center on the bottom. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. Okay, now I think I'm going to take Lolly, which is very similar to that one I just used, except that it has a little more pinkiness in it, and it's a little bit of a lighter shade. So we're going to wipe off this brush again. I have 1,000 brushes back there, and I could just get a different brush, but I don't want to search for one. So we're going to go in with Lolly on this brush, and I'm going to focus that more on the inner part, probably like the inner 1/3, and just to kind of lighten it up a little bit, but not too much. I love eyeshadows, but like this is kind of pretty much what I do. I don't use a lot of different things. I don't do a lot of like crazy techniques and stuff when I'm doing my eyeshadow. So that's where I'm going to stop with as far as eyeshadow. But I am going to put a black liner on the lower waterline and then the top waterline as well, just to add a little bit more deepness, depth, sexiness to the look. So let me grab that and we'll go ahead and do that next. So this is the Senegence Eye Sense black pencil liner. So I like to use this in the waterline. I feel like it stays a lot longer than a lot of different ones I've tried. So we're just going to go ahead and very lightly apply that. And when I am applying an eyeliner to my waterline, make sure you really focus it as close as you can to your lashes. That's just kind of one of the main reasons for eyeliner, is to give that illusion that your eyelashes are thicker at the base. So the closer you get to your lashes, the better that illusion is going to work. Okay, next step is to curl my lashes. I always curl my lashes, whether it's date night or not. I just think that it really helps make your eyelashes look better. Okay, so I'm going to use that Lash Extension Equate brand mascara that I've been obsessed with lately, and I'm going to look up and apply it that way. It is less likely to get onto my eyelids. And then also, again, just like with that eyeliner, if you focus it really close to the base and just kind of wiggle it back and forth and then push it up, that's going to make them look fuller as well. So because it's Valentine's Day or just a date night, we have to make sure we get that glow. So I'm using the Becca Cosmetics Opal highlighter, and I'm just going to pick it up with my Morphe M510 brush. And I'm going to put it right to the tops of my cheeks. It's a pretty glow. And then we're going to pull that up. And then I'm going to, I think I'm going to apply a little bit to the front here, just so that you can really see the glow when you're looking straight on, just on the apples of my cheek. And then I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to apply a tiny bit to my nose. Don't like to have a crazy nose highlight, but just enough to kind of add some emphasis to it. And then for my lips, we're going to keep kind of that reddish theme that we have going on. And I'm going to use Lip Sense. And this is the color called Crimson. And this is my favorite shade. It's just a really pretty color, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to line my lips first with the end of the wand and then go in and apply the 3 coats. If you're not familiar with Lip Sense, it goes on in 3 layers and then you apply a gloss over the top to kind of seal it all in. So probably kind of speed through this process, but that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so now that I applied the gloss, it's set in place and I am good to go. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got some ideas, some maybe inspiration for your Valentine's Day or date night look. And I will see you guys all on Tuesday. I post on Tuesdays and Fridays. So Fridays are going to be more like makeup looks and Tuesdays are just kind of whatever I feel like filming that day. Yeah, so I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Alright, bye guys!